Alright YouTube, so I'm actually going to try something different today. I'm going to troll with my buddy Ed. That's Ed you see in front of me. He's been doing a lot of trolling. That's his primary method of fishing. So he gave me a few pointers, told me how to rig up, so I'm going to head out that way. So what I'm using is a Captain Max umbrella rig. This is the 2 ounce, and I think it's got 9 jig heads on it all together. And that's kind of Ed's primary tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this 100 feet behind the boat. If you look at the graph, there's quite a few fish showing along the bottom. So the fish are kind of hugging the bottom. They were doing that last weekend too, and they didn't really turn out to be striper. I didn't get a lot of hits, but we're going to give this a shot. So what I'm going to do is drop this about 200 feet behind the boat. This should get it down right around 30 feet and see if we can bring in some fish. So watch the line counter. And watch it so I don't run into him. There we go, that's 200 feet. Then what I'll do is I'll put it in the rod holder. Make sure it's nice and secure. Lock it down, and if I get a bite or a fish, it should just rip off drag. I'm just going to basically go parallel to Ed and fish next to him. Those are all gar, unfortunately. Stop water, but wrong fish. It'd be fun to get a gar hooked up though. Try one more. Gar! One of the critical things about striper, especially when you're a bait fisherman, is being able to catch bait. So it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. I was out trolling a little bit. Now I'm trying to catch a bait to go after some striper. I'm deep in Mac Creek and I see some ripples. I'm just going to throw the cast net, see what's out here. See if I see any flickers. I don't see any flickers. So what I'm going to do, you can see there's fish breaking in here. They're feeding on the shad. So I'm just trying to get them to school up so I can catch some. And get hopefully 1 or 2 casts should be enough. I didn't see any flickers, but there you go. There's a handful right there. And that wasn't even what I would consider to be a good cast. Move a little bit closer towards that brush. These are good sized bait. This is exactly what I want. So the first thing I want to do is make sure my tank's prepped. So again, I'll drop a few shad in there. I'm going to add some ice. And hopefully catch a little bit more bait. Go here and start doing some bait fishing. Alright YouTube, so just got to Mac Creek. Just got all my baits dropped down. Noticed on my Panoptix that there's a big school of fish underneath the boat. So I looked around, sure enough, one of my poles was going underneath the water. This pole was actually on the other side of the boat. So I was able to get it out of the holder, and looks like I got a pretty decent fish on. So I'll get around to the front of the boat here so I can net him. Not real happy about that whole idea. This little on board. Been actually thumping for probably about less than 5 minutes. I already got the first fish on. Alright, so I just got the first fish off and literally just hooked another fish. The first fish was 19, this one was a little bit smaller, probably about 15. But, get him in the boat. It's fish number 2. I need to get some more rods down. There we go. Fish number 2, little keeper box. I noticed that one of my rods was just getting a little nibble, and then it kind of took off into the water. So I went back to pick it up, and of course there was nothing there. So I'm going to reel it up here and look at the shad, because a lot of times catfish will basically skin the back end of the shad. So kind of what you see here, they'll grab the shad, but they don't grab the whole thing in their mouth, and they skin it, and that's how you know there's catfish around. So what I'm actually going to do, since I'm going to put some punch bait out and I don't have a lot of bait, I'm going to go ahead and cut this into 3 pieces and drop the head back down there along with some punch bait and see if we can get some catfish. I know that the Thumper thumps in cats because there was basically nothing showing on my graph when I first started, and now I've got a whole bunch of catfish hanging around underneath the boat. Coming through, but I haven't get quite a few catfish. There's quite a few catfish showing on my graph. So what I've done is I've chopped my shad into 3 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and put the head piece and the middle piece on some hooks, drop them down and see if we can catch them. I'm looking at the graph and I see quite a few catfish, probably like 10 or 20 fish underneath the boat. So I figure let's give it a shot and see if we can catch a few. Hi YouTube, so one of the things I'm noticing is there's a lot of fish on my graph, kind of anywhere from 30 to 50 feet. They're kind of drifting through, but they really don't look like striper. They actually look more like catfish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try some punch bait and see if the punch bait will actually bring in the catfish, or the Thumper will bring in the catfish and the punch bait will catch them. So I'm going to go ahead and drop some punch bait down on the front of the boat, and then I'll continue to use my live shad on the back of the boat, and we'll see what we can come up with. Alright, so since I see a lot of catfish out here, I decided to actually bring some punch bait. So this is Catfish Charlie's shad dip bait. So I'm going to take this and basically dip my treble hook into it, and then use that for bait for the shad, or for the catfish. There we go. So I put this one down with a shad on it, and looks like got a decent catfish on. Nice little blue cat. Like I said, they do come into the Thumpers. This one's been on there a while, I guess. Never really took the bait in the water. Yeah, this is a small one. Obviously I want a much bigger one, but they do come into Thumpers. It is interesting. They will sit underneath the boat. That's what they've been doing. I'm surprised I actually haven't caught more of them. I think he kind of lassoed himself. YouTube, so I noticed one of the lines was going sideways and reeled it in, so I got another nice cat. You know, not catching a ton of them, and this is about the size. They're pretty small. I'd probably throw him back, but like I said, the Thumper, the graph is still covered with catfish. They're just kind of little small size. If they're a little bit bigger, then this will be a great day. You sit here and catch a mess of them.